All right, students, welcome to day number 2 of our fractions, percents, and decimals. This lesson today should have been fairly easy. The biggest mistake students make is just not reducing far enough is one. And the second mistake that they make is just not reading the question. So if you slow down and answer both of those or pay attention to both of those key details, you should be okay. All right, let's start. We have two questions here, or one statement, one question. The first question said, what is the percent of students who ate popcorn? So I'm going to look here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different categories. I have a category that has 38% in it, a category with 7. Here's popcorn, hot dogs. I'm just going to continue going around the circle. 20%, 28%. And then this one I don't know. Whatever they ate is right there. Let's add these up. 8 and 8 is 16. 16 plus 7 is 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 93% of the students, we know what they ate. We know what 93% of the students ate. If I know that this whole thing is representative of 100% of the population, I can figure out how much this other is. I can figure out 100 minus 93. This is 7. I know that this is 7%. So just for future reference, in case it comes up, we are going to mark down that this is 7%. All right, back to the question. Sorry for that little sidetrack there. What is the percent of students who ate popcorn? Popcorn was 38%. Really quick, we'll answer that question. There we go, 38%. Now it says to write that percent as a fraction. Here's where this lesson is so easy. Percent as a fraction. Percent over 100. I know the percent. It's 38. So all I need to do is write 38 over 100. If you write that, you'll get the problem wrong. But Miss Bedner, why would you be showing us how to do the problem wrong? Reduce, reduce, reduce. If you cannot think of the factor that goes into both of them, start with the smallest one you know. It may take you multiple steps, but you'll still get there. So let's say I don't know anything else but 2 that goes into these. Well, then divide them both by 2. What goes into 38 2 times? 19. What goes into 100 2 times? 50. So, does this reduce any further? Does anything else go into 19 and 50? Nope. So I'm done. As a fraction, this percent of popcorn is 19 out of 50. I said that like that because it's also a ratio. If we had 50 students, 19 of them would eat popcorn. Just another way to look at that. All right, question 2. Write the percent that ate candy as a fraction. I'm quick going to fill in this 7% here just because I remembered it from last. And candy. Candy is 28%. You can't see my writing. 28%. So I know that it's 28% over 100%. Do you know of a factor that goes into both 28 and 100 that's bigger than 2? 4. I'm going to divide the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator by 4. 28 divided by 4 is 7. 100 divided by 4 is 25. Just because I divided it does not mean that I'm done. So please take a minute, double check, is there anything that goes into 7 and into 25? In this case, nope, I've simplified it or reduced it all the way. And that's it. All right, not too bad. I want to verify there's no other question hiding down here. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, so let's go to the next question. Write the percent of nachos combined with hot dogs as a fraction. All right, so there's more than one step that we have to complete here. First of all, we need, blue is kind of boring, we have that as a choice. All right, we need nachos and hot dogs combined. This fancy word combined here is one of the words we can use for adding. So let's look for nachos. Nachos are 20%. I'm going to combine or add that with hot dogs, which is 7%. I'm going to add these two up. Give me 27 over 100. Now, can we reduce this at all? Does it simplify? I know 9 and 3 go into 27, but they do not go into 100. So at this point, either it's due to the fact that it is still break, or the fact that they don't share a common factor. This is reduced. And that's it. That's all the more there is to this. It's not very tough. You just have to pay attention. Write the percent other as a fraction. All right, this is where we went back and did all of that work. So we went and we had found that this was 7%. So I would write 7 over 100. Can it be reduced? No, 7's a prime number. So that's it. That's your answer. Write each percent as a fraction in simplest form. So here we don't even have to do any math. Well, reading necessarily. All we have to do is take this and set it up. Again, piece of cake. Just put it over 100 and look to see if it can be reduced. As far as I know, nothing goes into 19. So 19 over 100 would be it. 18 over 100. Well, 18 is even and 100 is even, so at least 2 goes into both. I know to get an 18, I can take 2 times 9 or 3 times 6. However, to my knowledge, 9, 6, and 3 do not go evenly into 100. They are not factors of 100. So all I can do is divide this by 2. And I will have 9 over 50. Maybe my math was off, so I'm just going to double check. But does anything go into 9 and in the 50? Not to my knowledge. So there we go. That is reduced, and that's all we need. All right, 50%. Well, right now, I bet there are a handful of you that could tell me right away what fraction this would be. But let's just do the math and see. 50 over 100. Well, I know 10 goes into both for sure, because they end in a 0. I'm also pretty sure now that I'm thinking about it, 50 goes into both. So I'm going to divide both by 50. 50 divided by 50 is 1. 100 divided by 50 is 2. Well, 1/2 doesn't reduce anymore. It makes sense, doesn't it? 50 cents is half of a dollar. 50 over 100. 50 is half of 100. So that makes sense there. All right, here we go. 60% of a human body is made up of water. Write as a fraction the percent of the human body that is not made up of water. Okay. Did you catch that? Let me see if I can find my highlighter, and we'll highlight some of those details really quick. 60% of the body is made up of water. It wants me to write up a fraction, the percent that is not made up of water. 60% is water. Find the percent that is not. All about reading. All about paying attention to those details. If 60% is water, I want to know what is not water. So 100% of me minus 60% of water leaves 40% of other stuff. So then I have to come and write 40 over 100. 40% over 100. I know 10 goes into both of these because they end in a 0. So I'm going to reduce both by 10. And I will have 4 over 10. They are both even, so I notice that a 2 goes into both of those. So I'll divide by 2, and I'll have 2/5. And now since both of those numbers are prime, that is my final answer right there. 2/5 of the human body is not made up of water. What should I get if I took this and I put it into fraction form? Hopefully you get 3/5. Hopefully you get the rest of that. That's not part of the question though, so I don't want to sidetrack us too much. All right, name a percent that is in between 1/2 and 3/4. So I have a fraction here. This kind of goes back to the other day, but I have a fraction here and a fraction here. These are two very easy fractions. Hopefully you know that 1/2 is the same as 50%. And think about money. 3 out of 4. There are 4 things that go into a dollar, quarters. And if I have 3 of them, I have 75%. So now, name a percent that is between. Well, it can't be 50. 50 is not between. And it can't be 75. 75 is not between. So it can be anything 51 to 74%. Any one of those answers would be sufficient. Any one would be between those two. It doesn't say to write it as your fraction, but you could. It doesn't say that though. If I wanted to, I would just take whatever number I chose and put it over 100, and if it reduced, great. If not, leave it. What percent of the grid is not shaded? All right, so let's look at the grid here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 by 5. Means there are 25 squares. All right, 25 squares. How many are not shaded is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the 25 are not shaded. I need to write this as a percent. So to write this as a percent, remember, I want it to be percent over 100. 2 ways to do it. Probably more, but I'm sticking with 2. 2 ways to solve this. 1, do your cross multiplying. Or 2, if you could see how to solve the proportion by going across. 5 times what is 100? 4. 5 times 4 equals 20. So 20 is in place of x. So 20%. And it looks like that is all we have for the day. So if you have any further questions, feel free to go to Khan Academy. And type in ratios, rates, percents. He has a handful of very good videos and examples that you can use if mine was not helpful for your lesson today. All right, thank you.